Pace truck off. Side by side out of that fourth corner. Looking to be side by side at the cone, and we're green. Heat race number 1 underway. Big jump for Buddy Kofoid. He gets out front early. Keith Martin slides up side by side with Kate Cowles. Quarter Sarf, Kaylee Bryson. Kaylee Bryson goes underneath Sarf and Cowles. Cowles up into the wall in turn 3, loses a ton of ground. Lap 1, give it to Buddy Kofoid. Keith Martin second, Kaylee Bryson third, Ryan Timms and Carter Sarf going at it for P4. Sarf powers around the outside of Timms, who took a peek to the inside in 1 and 2, and the caution flag will fly. Hello. We'll see if they pick it back up. Kofoid got out to a bid lead prior to the caution. We'll see if he does it again. Back underway in Heat 1. Another good restart for Kofoid. Bryson took a peek to the outside of Keith Martin, now turns it to the inside into turn 1. Martin powers around the outside of the 71 to hang on to P2, down the back straightaway. Here comes Axum in the 15. Big move from Emerson Axum in 3 and 4. Smoke now out of the 79 of Keith Martin. The power plant on Keith Martin's car goes down, and Martin off the pace in 1 and 2. We'll see if we get a yellow. We do. But what a move Emerson Axum made. Restarted in the 6th position, got by Ryan 10th to 3rd. That's going to be huge in the passing points department for Axum. Can he get his first A-Main win tonight? We're back to green. Axum dives to the inside of Kaylee Bryson. Didn't have a good enough run. Bryson pulls away by 4 car lengths down the back straightaway. Ryan Timms to the inside of Carter Sarf. Ryan Timms by Carter Sarf for P4 out of the 4th turn. Sarf tried to turn it underneath him. Didn't have enough momentum. Now Sarf going to fall to P6 as Tyler Thomas moves into the top 5. Sarf slid way up the track in 1 and 2. Falls to the tail of the field. Comes to a stop. Caution out. Main event win. Back underway out of turn 4. Top 6, all powered by TRD. Tyler Thomas made some move to the inside of Ryan Timms. Didn't have enough. Timms hangs on to P4. Down the back straightaway, Buddy Kofoid opens up a 4-car length advantage over Kaylee Bryson. Really gets away from Bryson through 3 and 4 that time. Emerson Axum puts some pressure on Kaylee Bryson. We'll see if Axum can make a move for the 2nd spot. Ryan Timms also might want to throw his hat into the conversation. Caution will fly. Kate Cowles, for the 2nd time, came to a stop out of turn 4. So that's certainly going to help Emerson Axum's case for a nice starting spot tonight. Halfway, back to green out of turn 4. Ryan Timms takes a look to the inside. Loses some ground on Axum, who throws a big slider in 1 and 2. Bryson powers around him. Tyler Thomas working on Ryan Timms for P4. Timms, the incumbent, hangs on to the spot. Thomas, though, dives to his inside. Carter Sarf makes a move on Taylor Reimer. Ryan Timms all over Emerson Axum, wants a podium spot. Really 3 cars battling for that 3rd spot. Tyler Thomas loses a little bit of ground. Buddy Kofoid drives away. Kaylee Bryson comfortable for now in P2, but she's going to start feeling heat from Axum and Timms. Axum and Timms going at it for the 3rd position. Axum able to create a little bit of separation through 1 and 2 that time. About a 2.5, 3-car length advantage down the back straightaway. White flag in the air, huge lead for Buddy Kofoid. His quest to go back-to-back to start the season off to a good start. The battle's going to be for P2. Down the back stretch one more time. Bryson has it. Axum wants it. Bryson goes to the top. Axum, a groove lower, but not going to be enough. Buddy Kofoid wins Heat 1. Kaylee Bryson 2nd. Emerson Axum 3rd. Ryan Timms 4th. Tyler Thomas 5th. And Persley, who led some last night. Kenny McIntosh had a really strong run from the outside of row 2. Then Cruz was sharp. Wiedemann was sharp last night. Scott Evans, the hard charger. And this time, the green flag is displayed. We're back underway. Here comes Cannon. Another big move. Got by Crouch. Gets by Kyle Jones. McIntosh already up to P2. Side by side for 3rd. Down the back stretch. Brenham Crouch got by Kyle Jones. Now to the inside of Cannon McIntosh. What a move from Brenham Crouch. Slides up in front of Cannon to take the 2nd spot. Dason Persley leads lap 1. Brenham Crouch up to P2. McIntosh rides in the 3rd spot. Top 4 distance themselves from the rest of the field. Scott Evans rides in the 5th spot. Brent Cruz didn't buy Pierce Sherbanovsky. He and Brian Wiedemann now stood behind Scott Evans. Wiedemann dives to the inside of Evans. Evans tries to turn it underneath him. Does he have enough? He does not. Down the back straightaway, Wiedemann powers around him. Dason Persley, your leader. Cannon McIntosh in the 08, starting to work on Brenham Crouch for the 2nd position. Crouch had a career best with the series last night, finishing 9th. Looking for another solid effort tonight. Dason Persley, your race leader, out of turn 4, halfway. 4 down, 4 to go. Persley from the pole leads the first 4 circuits. McIntosh from the outside of row 2 got up to second. Crouch quickly got back by him, and it's been that way ever since. Kyle Jones still rides in 4th. Bryant Wiedemann in 5th. Single file around the top of the first 5, and then Brent Cruz makes a move on Scott Evans. Brent Cruz up to P6 now in the 86 machine. Nice gap between Persley and Crouch. Crouch for now seems to have the 08 of McIntosh behind him. He can focus on Persley, but Persley really getting away. He was the driver that started on the inside of row 2 last night, led the first 7 laps, fell out of the top 5, drove back up to second. We'll see if he can get an A-main win tonight. Was so close last night. He is off to a good start with a heat race number 2 win presented by Mesilla Valley Transportation. Dason Persley takes heat race number 2. His teammate Burnham Crouch finishes behind him. Cannon McIntosh in 3rd. Kyle Jones, Bryant Wiedemann, Brent Cruz, Scott Evans rounds out the field, and Pierce Sherbanowski, I should say, will round out the number 84. That's Jade Avedisian. TRD Toyota Tundra Pace Truck pulls into the infield. Davin Stout was scheduled to go outside row 2. He scratches. Drivers will receive passing points from their original starting positions. Before the scratch, and we're underway. Team Ripper making up the front row. Grop from the outside gets to the early lead. Jake Newman to the inside of Reese Moran. Jade Avedisian stuck behind Moran in the 84 machine. Oh, Jade Avedisian up into the wall in turn 3. Can she recover? She keeps it on all 4s, but slows to a stop, and the caution flies. Moran 6th, as we are left with 6 cars for the remainder of Autometer Heat Race number 3. Cade Lewis will try to make it a KKM Heat Race sweep tonight, but the Team Ripper boys and maybe even the champ Jake Newman trying to put an end to KKM's hot streak here in heat races tonight. We're back underway. Grop and Hoover nose to tail on the top in 1 and 2 that time. They get away from Lewis and Newman. Newman takes advantage of the opening inside lane to the inside of Cade Lewis, but how about the Team Ripper cars nose to tail down the front stretch? Hoover dives to the inside of Grop. Grop just squeezed around him to hang on to the lead. They did not make contact. Here comes Jake Newman in the 3 in, looking for the heat race win. He'll go to the inside, 3 wide down the front stretch that time. Hoover crossed back down, almost got into Newman. 4 cars under a blanket at the front of the field. Lewis sideways in turn 2, loses ground. Jake Newman goes by Emilio Hoover on the inside. Now to the inside of race leader Trey Grop. Lap for complete new leader Jake Newman. What a move Jake Newman made. Started on the outside of row 3 to the lead. Oh, Emilio Hoover goes around. Collects Cade Lewis, who keeps going. Reese Moran collected as well. Time can Newman hang on to the lead? Will Grop beat? Slow pace set by the leader. Newman brings us back to green out of turn 4. Got a really good restart down the front stretch. Cade Lewis to the inside of Trey Grop. Grop powers around him on the outside. Newman leads it down the back straightaway. Reese Moran by Dylan Pastier for P4. But Jake Newman, 1 win last season, 6 podium finishes, led him to his first Lucas Oil PowerEye National Midget League Championship. A 4th place finish last night after starting deep in the field. And he is 2 laps away from his first heat race win of the 2021 season. Lewis not letting Grop have that second position, keeps getting good runs going into turn 1, but hasn't been able to get by Grop. Grop goes to the inside lane to protect the second spot in 3 and 4 that time. White flag in the air, Newman's got it locked up. Here comes Cade Lewis for second. Grop too quick around the outside, hangs onto the second spot for now. Will it be last year's Rookie of the Year or this year's Rookie of the Year contender taking home P2? It will be Trey Grop in second. Jake Newman gets the heat race win. Cade Lewis comes home in 3rd. Reese
up in a position, and the lineup is set. Inching through 3 and 4, we're green. Colton Mooney with a much better start this time. Mooney will lead down in to turn number 2. Caleb Watson will jump out into that second spot. He's got Scott Newberry and Rick Supp in tow. Supp going to slide up into that third spot, makes contact, has to overcorrect, and he'll fall back to fourth. Now he's going to take it back to the outside of Scott Newberry. They're going to go side by side for third. Colton Mooney, your race leader. Caleb Watson in second, but the race on the track right now is for third, and give it to Supp. Rick Supp moves up into that third spot with the number 59. He's going to set his sights on the number 17W of Caleb Watson. Now here comes Newberry, challenging back down to the bottom. Going to go side by side for that third position. It's going to be Supp off turn 4, just barely closing the door on the number 11S. Newberry trying to go back down to the bottom and make it a side-by-side battle for that third position once again. He really gets his run going down into turn number 3. We'll see if he can make it happen off 4. Supp is now closing in on the number 17W as we were watching Scott Newberry. Watson starting to fade a little bit from Colton Mooney. He was running right up on the back bumper of your race leader. And now he's starting to fall into the clutches of Rick Supp. We'll see if Supp can make his way around that driver. Watson with a huge head of steam down into turn number 1. Was about to challenge for Mooney and had to get it woed up before they made contact. Newberry now trying to shut the door on Rick Supp. That is your battle for third. He takes the spot by force. Newberry will now hold on to that spot and brush the wall down the backstretch, almost losing some ground to Supp as we got a battle for the lead coming to the white flag. Caleb Watson down to the inside. They're going to go door to door through 1 and 2. Watson moving Mooney out of the way. They bump doors down the backstretch. It's going to be a drag race off turn number 4. Now Newberry in the middle could go 3 wide for the race lead. We're not. Caleb Watson will win. Newberry moving his way into second at the line. Cars get lined up side by side, nose to tail. They'll inch through 3 and 4. Flagman looking. Green flag. The dust settles out at turn number 2. It's going to be Hunter Krugel to the race lead in the number 6H. Bradley Cox will fall back to second as here comes Bondi Cannon down to the inside trying to work on Tifa Tiller. That is your battle for third and maybe more as Bradley Cox goes up high. Colin Tifa Tiller to second. Tifa Tiller to second. Bondi Cannon looking for third. Bondi Cannon going to go back down to the bottom. They're going to go side by side for the second position. Bradley Cox going to slide back into position. Trying to make it a 3-car race for the second spot. Give it to Bondi Cannon out of turn number 2 as Colin Tifa Tiller goes up behind the number 33. All alone out front, that is Hunter Krugel. Krugel has about a 4 to 5, 6-car straightaway advantage on the rest of the field. Bondi Cannon is the fastest car on the track, but has not made up quite a bit of ground. Actually, through 1 and 2, he picks up quite a bit. Hunter Krugel continuing to lead as the laps tick down. 3 laps to go next time. Or, excuse me, 3 laps to go this time. Krugel still leading. Bondi Cannon about a car length away, now less, has 2 laps to go, and it's about to get interesting. Bondi Cannon has the fastest car. Krugel has dominated this heat race so far. As they come to the white flag, we're going to see how they shake out through the final lap. White flag, 1 more trip around. Krugel goes high. Bondi Cannon down low. He gets 2 tires underneath the number 6H. Can it be a drag race down to turn 3? Bondi Cannon continues to go low. He's not there yet as the checkered flag flies for Hunter Krugel. Bondi Cannon coming home second. Then it's Colin Tiefatiller, Bradley Cox, and Daniel Garza. So if you were a kid here at the races tonight, go down to the merchandise stand and get you a raffle ticket for the oversized deluxe scooter. Here, race number 1 for the limited mods is Tyler Webb, Thomas Walp, Kelly Terry, Trevor Foley, Josh Knoyer, and Trey Fye. We're leading. Tyler Webb will lead down into turn number 1. Thomas Walp up top. Walp going to settle into that second spot with Foley now in that third spot, running down the number 51. Your A feature winner last night is trying to move up into that fourth spot. That's Josh Knoyer. The 41 running the top side. He gets around the number 3 of Kelly Terry. Terry going to fall back into that fifth spot. Trevor Foley going to enter down low. He's going to go down underneath the number 51. Thomas Walp on the outside. Trevor Foley on the inside. Foley will have to settle for third for now. Knoyer there lurking in fourth. He's going to try to make his move into this top 3. As Foley going to try on the bottom side once again on Walp. Walp up on the high side. Walp going to hold on for now. Tyler Webb extending his lead so far in the number 56W. He's been strong through the first 2 nights at Monarch Motor Speedway, but had some bad luck both nights and not ending up with the finishes that he wanted. Foley going to go down to the bottom of Walp once again. They go 4x4 that time, as they continue to try to drag race down to the front stretch. Trevor Foley just not having the exit speed he wants to get around that number 51. And the laps are tickling down as we've got 2 laps to go, this time by for Tyler Webb. Thomas Walp in that second spot, trying to hold the spot away from Trevor Foley. Foley, the winner of opening night here for the limited modifieds at Monarch Motor Speedway. 2 A feature winners in this heat race tonight. White flag is out. 1 more trip around for Tyler Webb. Your 2 limited mod feature winners are running 3rd and 4th right now for the season. Checkered flag in hand. Checkered flag is waving. Tyler Webb wins heat race number 1. Thomas Walp will finish 2nd, then it'll be Trevor Foley. Josh Knoyer will finish 4th. In the air, we are underway. Single file racing down the backstretch. Jonathan Powers is your leader. Braden Wyatt sitting in that second spot. He's got Aaron Alley in third. Aaron Alley running up on the high side with the 2 leaders. Then you got the number 27 of Forrest Wimkin. Jonathan Powers all by himself up front. Braden Wyatt trying to run him down. Braden Wyatt going to go down to the bottom. Jonathan Powers going to continue to go up top. Braden Wyatt keeping it within about 2 car lengths, 1.5 down into turn number 3. He's going to go 1 lane down from the number 29, but Jonathan Powers continuing to run the top side to perfection so far. The lip through 1 and 2. They're going to go down the back stretch and try to make it a side-by-side battle for the race lead once again. Aaron Alley all by himself in third. Here comes Wyatt. He's going to go 1 lane down from the number 29 and trying to make it side-by-side down into turn number 3. Wyatt making his move, but cannot quite get there on the number 29 as they hit 2 laps to go. He's going to look down to the bottom shelf once again. They're going to see the white flag this time. Braden Wyatt has one lap to make a move on Powers. Both hit the high side through 1 and 2. Powers off turn number 2. Going to sail it down the backstretch now. He's going to protect the bottom down through 3 and 4. Great move for the number 29. Your heat race winner, Jonathan Powers. Braden Wyatt will finish second. Then it'll be Aaron Alley in third. Forrest Wemkin in fourth. Then it'll be Richard Walp. And the number 38 finishing in sixth. So, Gary Fullwood not taking off on the start. Trey Stevens getting the jump. We will restart him right here. Green flag, much better start as we're going to race down into turn number 1. Stevens and Miller going to try to freight train the number 519 on the outside, and they both do. Fullwood will go back to third. Trey Stevens will take the lead down into turn number 1 and 2, or 3 and 4, excuse me. The 0-2 of Bobby Miller going to sit in that second spot. Gary Fullwood going to start falling back there. Trey Stevens down to the bottom. Bobby Miller gaining a head of steam down the backstretch in that number 0-2. He's going to go to the top shelf. Stevens going to cut down to the bottom. Both will hit the top shelf. Now Stevens will diamond down into turn number 2. They're going to try to go side by side, but Bobby Miller just cannot quite get next to the number 27. Trey Stevens continues the lead as we hit lap 3. Bobby Miller now powering down to the bottom. Almost makes contact, and now we'll have to overcorrect out of turn number 4. He's going to hit the high side and has a good run down the backstretch. Can he get up next to the number 27? He's going to put the bumper to the back of him. Side by side on the outside. Stevens tries to slam the door shut. Contact. Trey Stevens slowed down the front stretch, making contact with the number 0-2 of Bobby Miller. Bobby Miller, your race leader, 2 laps to go. Stevens sliding down to the bottom. White flag is out. One more trip around. Bobby Miller now all alone through 3 and 4. Checkered flag in the air. Bobby Miller will win heat race number 1 for the USRA Factory Stocks. Trey Stevens will finish. Inching through 3 and 4. Green flag. Michael Reyes going to jump out to the early lead. Cooper Tifatiller going to battle it out with Jacob Alford for that second spot. Reyes out to a sizable advantage down the backstretch in the number 14M. Michael Reyes has always had a pretty fast rod here at Monarch Motor Speedway, running with the full tuner class. Cooper Tifatiller running right in front of the number 12A of Jacob Alford. Alford going to go down to the bottom. Cooper Tifatiller up top. That is your battle for second. Michael Reyes running away early in that number 14M. As he comes back around, we're going to hit lap number 3. Jacob Alford going down to the bottom. Trying to make a move on Cooper Tifatiller for second. Tifatiller able to hold on so far. But Alford all over the back bumper of that number 4 tee. White flag is out. One more trip around for Michael Reyes. Reyes running the top side through 1 and 2. He's going to come down to 3 and 4. Checkered flag in hand. Off of turn number 4, your heat race winner, that'll be Michael Reyes taking the checkered flag. Cooper Tiefetiller will finish second, then it'll be Jacob Alford. In the number 47C, that'll be Harold Clifton with the number 59 of Rick Sopp. In the number 86, that'll be Bradley Cox, the number 5G of Daniel Garza, the 2P of Aubrey Parker, the 2 of Daryl McCraw, the 30 of Randy Razor. We're green. Dust settles out at turn number 2. It's going to be Bondi Cannon with Scott Newberry slicing and dicing up through the middle. He's going to move up into that second spot and actually make some contact with the number 33B. Newberry wants that lead bad. He's going to draft the 33 down into turn number 1. He cuts it down to the bottom. They're going to go side by side. Out of turn number 2, your race is for the lead. Newberry going to make it back down to the bottom. They're going to try to go 4x4 out of turn number 2. Or turn number 4, excuse me. Bondi going to hold on for now. But he's got that number 11S all over the back bumper of his machine. They're going to go up high now as here comes Caleb Watson. Watson going down to the bottom, trying to get around the number 11S for second. Great race up front so far. Newberry all over that number 33, trying to make the pass. Caleb Watson now joining the fray up front. Watson within a car length or 2, trying to make his way into the battle. Newberry now within striking distance of Bondi Cannon. He is lurking in that second spot, waiting to strike. Newberry going to look down to the bottom now with the number 33 of Bondi Cannon, still holding on to the race lead. Caleb Watson trying to stalk into the race for the lead as well. Through the field right now, Colin Tiefetiller now battling with the 628 of Colton Mooney. That is your battle for the 5th position. Scott Newberry bumping the 33 into turn number 3 just a little bit. Bondi Cannon now moved out of the way. New leader out of turn number 2. That's Scott Newberry. Newberry powering his way into the race lead, the Rome, Texas driver. And so far, he has been the fastest in this race. With a lap time of 18.482, Newberry has been the fastest. Bondi Cannon just right there with him. Both cars almost equal as far as lap times go. Newberry starting to approach lap traffic in the form of the number 2 of Gerald McCraw. Bondi Cannon going to stay glued to the back of that number 11S. Colin Tiefetiller holding strong against Colton Mooney in that number 628. Newberry going to make a pass on a lap car with that number 2. Bondi Cannon going to jump down to the bottom. Whoa! Bondi Cannon just moves the number 2 out of the way. Caution on the speedway. They're back. Ten laps in the books of a scheduled 20, inching through 3 and 4. Leader takes off. We're green. Scott Newberry will lead down into turn number 1. Caleb Watson going to jump down to the bottom and try to get around the number 11S. Colton Mooney holding strong with the top two drivers as we head down into turn number 3. Colin Tiefentiller will fall back to 4th. He's going to have to contend with the number 59 of Rick Sopp. Sopp looks down to the bottom, and now he'll settle behind the number 14. Colton Mooney holding strong there in 3rd, trying to make a move on the number 17W. That is your battle for 2nd. He is within half a car length of the 2nd position. Rick Sopp having a little bit of an issue down the front stretch. He got way sideways and tried to overcorrect it and keep it up there in the top 5. He is now contending with Hunter Krugel. Krugel moving around the high side trying to make the move. Scott Newberry continues to lead as Caleb Watson sits in that 2nd spot. Watson running down to the bottom now as the white flag will fly. One more trip around for Newberry. Caleb Watson going to try to run him down, but he does not have enough time down the backstretch. We'll see what he can do for 3 and 4 as coming to the checkered flag. Your feature winner will be Scott Newberry. Caleb Watson will finish 2nd, then it'll be Colton Mooney in 3rd. Colin Tiefentiller in 4th. Rounding out your top 5 will be the number 59 of Rick Sopp. Then from
Pace truck pulls off. Will Kofoid go back-to-back? Will the champ get his first win of the season? Will we have a first-time winner? It's time to find out. Night number 2 of the Lone Star Drawdown is green for 30 laps out of turn 4. Side by side into turn 1. Kofoid tries to make it 3 wide. Emerson Exum slides around the top, goes to the lead down the back straightaway. Newman comes with a good run out of turn 2 down the back stretch. Emerson Exum crosses down to the bottom to protect the lead in 3 and 4. Lap 1, give it to the 15 of Emerson Exum. Jake Newman in 2nd. Buddy Kofoid up on the high side in 3rd. Kofoid drives around Newman. Brenham Crouch trying to do the same. Side by side for 3rd down the backstretch. Newman crosses in front of Crouch, who went down to the low side to protect the 3rd spot. Give Emerson Exum the lead once again. Here comes Kofoid. Big slider from Kofoid. Exum powers to his inside. Emerson Exum retakes the lead. On lap number 3, nose to tail to turn 3. Exum goes to the bottom. Kofoid not quite up to the top, runs the middle groove side by side. Man, they almost got together on the front stretch. Big move from Kofoid, set it up. Exum trying to turn it underneath him. Kofoid powers around him on the outside of turn 2. Kofoid to the lead. Here comes Exum battling back on the bottom. Give lap 4 to Buddy Kofoid. Side by side racing throughout the field. Top 2 get away. Dason Persley has worked his way into the 3rd position. Persley in 3rd. Brenham Crouch working on Jake Newman for that 4th spot. How about Cade Lewis, the youngster, in just his 2nd start? He's in P6. Carter Sarf and Cannon McIntosh, Tyler Thomas, 3 cars battling for the 7th spot. Jake Newman looked to the outside of Dason Persley. Persley went down to the bottom. Persley hangs on to P3. Buddy Kofoid up front. His lead growing over Emerson Exum over a 2nd now. Top 5 seem to be around the top. Tyler Thomas slides in front of Carter Sarf. Tyler Thomas takes the 8th spot away from Carter Sarf. Cannon McIntosh rides in P7. Brenham Crouch in that 97 machine, feeling pressure from his teammate now for the 4th position. Look at the 2 KKM youngsters down the back straightaway. Brenham Crouch and Cade Lewis separated by about 5 car lengths. We'll see if a battle picks up for P5. Lewis around the outside of Crouch down the front stretch. Give Cade Lewis the 5th position now in the 67K. Mostly single file around the top 4 now up front. Buddy Kofoid is going to work his way into lap traffic. Will Exum be able to catch him? Exum at the line that time, 0.9 seconds back of the race leader. Dason Persley, however, catching Emerson Exum. Top 3 breakaway at the front of the field. Everybody chasing Buddy Kofoid. Kofoid's been good on the top and the bottom. Goes to the inside of Kate Cowles. Here comes Exum. Exum, big run to the top of 1 and 2, and it's a car length difference down the back stretch. Exum going to take a peek to the inside, didn't go all the way down there. Kofoid and Exum nose to tail at the line. 19 laps to go. Big slider from Emerson. Slides way up high near the wall. Did a nice job to keep it out of the wall. Axum still in the picture. Did lose a couple of car lengths to Kofoid, however. Kofoid gets away. Pursley still in the picture. They work around lap traffic. All three get by Jade Evanesian. Buddy Kofoid now working on Scott Evans. The lap car. Axum still there with him. Pursley hasn't shown Axum anything yet. Will that change? He takes a peep to the inside. Couldn't get a good enough run to go down to the bottom. Kofoid held up by the lap car of Scott Evans. Axum right there. Pursley's with him. As they sort through lap traffic, they split Evans and Reimer. Pursley now held up by Scott Evans. Goes to the outside. Still trying to get by that 116. Axum to the inside of Kofoid, who has no clue where to go. Cars in every lane in front of him, and Axum's going to take advantage in 1 and 2. Axum off the second corner. Uses lap track to his advantage to get the lead. Almost gets together with Pierce Shermanowski in 3 and 4. New leader Emerson Axum once again. Here comes a big move from Kofoid. They almost get together. Axum turned the slider back underneath them. Watch the battle for the lead. Caution on the speedway, and a chance to catch our breath. 3 cars involved. On night 2 of the Lone Star Drawdown at Monarch Motor Speedway, Buddy Kofoid brings this to green. Will Axum be able to get around him again? Back underway at Monarch, halfway to go. Kofoid and Axum break away from Dason Pursley by just a little bit. Kofoid able to get a good drive off the second quarter and pull away from Axum just a little bit. Cannon McIntosh in the 08, he's trying to make moves. Here comes the 21 of Emilio Hoover. He is trying to work his way forward all over Cade Lewis and Cannon McIntosh for position. That's Carter waiting for the scoring loop to update here before I find out if that's Hoover or Trey Brock. Looks to be Emilio Hoover, but Buddy Kofoid in the 67 machine. Getting away from Emerson Axum. Cannon McIntosh and Jake Newman going at it for P4. Newman's running in the middle. McIntosh was way down low on the inside. Trying to get by Newman for P4. Newman gets away from him a little bit. Buddy Kofoid starting to catch a little bit of lap traffic once again. Has the 25K Taylor Reimer in his sights. Not nearly as heavy as it was the last time. Coming to 10 to go, Buddy Kofoid. 10 perfect laps away from back-to-back wins. Emerson not out of the picture. 1.2 seconds at the line that time. Kofoid, Axum, Pursley. Newman still holding off McIntosh for P4. McIntosh 5th. Cade Lewis in 6th. Kaylee Bryson 7th. McIntosh by Newman. Newman sideways in 1 and 2 that time. Cannon McIntosh up to P4. Finished 3rd last night. Caution on the speedway. Kaylee Bryson slow on the backstretch. Comes to a stop just before the exit. Entering turn 3. And a car stopped in turn 2. That's the 01 of Bryant Wiedemann. So the 21 car I was talking about, that we are going back to green here with 9 laps to go on night 2 at Monarch. Kofoid in 67. Will he be able to hang on? Back underway. Top 2 breakaway. Axum hangs with Kofoid. Drove it really hard through 1 and 2 that time. A car length difference down the back straightaway. Kofoid used in the middle. Axum follows him. Hasn't showed him anything yet. 8 laps to go. Dason Pursley in 3rd. Cannon McIntosh to the inside of Newman as they're nose to tail for the lead. Axum got really close in 1 and 2 that time. Couldn't pull the trigger to get by Buddy Kofoid. Kofoid has been really solid on the middle. Axum gets really good runs going into 1 and 2, but Kofoid a little bit better coming out of the corners. Trouble, big wreck. In 3 and 4 brings out the red Kaylee Bryson upside down. So Dason Pursley was running in that 3rd position, had to go to the work area during that red flag, does come back out, but goes to the tail of the field. Cannon McIntosh inherits P3. Axum to the inside of Kofoid as we go back green. McIntosh hangs with him. Axum. Haynes with Kofoid down the backstretch to his inside. Kofoid gets a good drive down the backstretch to inch in front of Axum. 3 cars under a blanket for the win. 6 laps to go in Monarch. Kofoid nose to tail with Axum, who's nose to tail with McIntosh. Jake Newman rides in 4th, but it's these 3 up front. Caution on the speedway. More cars getting together in 1 and 2. Dason Persley is involved, as is Taylor Reimer and Kate Cowles. Persley, I didn't see it until right before of this one. Back underway. Into turn number 1. Those 3 nose to tail. McIntosh almost got into the back of Axum. Tyler Thomas sliding around in 1 and 2. He stops, caution back out. Six to go, back underway. McIntosh to the inside of Kofoid, throws a slider through 1 and 2. Kofoid couldn't get underneath him. McIntosh takes the lead down the back straightaway. What will Kofoid do in 3 and 4? McIntosh runs the middle. Kofoid down to the low side. New leader, Cannon Mack. Taylor Reimer pulls to the infield. We stay green. Brent Cruz, 3 wide with Cade Lewis and Jake Newman down the back straightaway. They fight for a podium spot, and Cannon McIntosh puts some room between he and Kofoid. 0.567 seconds at the line that time. McIntosh getting away from Buddy. Kofoid sideways on the backstretch. Loses P2 to his teammate Lewis. Kofoid slowing in 3 and 4. And a heartbreaker for Buddy Kofoid. Caution is out. Oh, and the right rear down. On Kofoid, we wondered if Todd Lewis, Jake Newman, Brent Cruz, Reese Moran, anybody's game at this point. 4 laps to go. McIntosh has looked really strong coming from Pete's end. Has he safe tires enough? Will he be able to hold him off? Back underway. McIntosh runs the middle, slides up just a little bit, didn't go all the way to the top in 1 and 2, and McIntosh gets away. Reese Moran to the inside of Brent Cruz. He's looking for P4. Jake Newman down to the bottom. Brent Cruz goes around his outside. Brent Cruz into P3. 3 laps to go. McIntosh a 3-car length advantage over Cade Lewis. McIntosh leads down the backstretch. Caution comes out once again. Believe it was for the 85T of Ryan races. It's going to be hard to top these the rest of the year. We still got over 35 shows left for you on MAF TV Plus. But we've got 2 race of the year candidates already. Green flag back in the air, 3 to go. Cruz to the inside of Lewis, made a big move. Lewis holds him off. Cruz had to hop on the binders. Does Lewis have a tire going down? He may. Drops to P4. Reese Moran onto the podium. 2 laps to go. McIntosh your leader. Cruz riding second. Lewis holding steady in P4 for now. Reese Moran in third. Caution, 2 cars together. Tyler Thomas and Brian Wiedemann. Another Wiedemann, Cruz, Evanesian, Urbanowski, Timms, Evans, Hoover. 3 laps to go on night 2 at Monarch. Back to green. McIntosh through 1 and 2, runs the middle. Car to the infield. Kyle Jones stops in the middle of 1 and 2. 3 wide on the backstretch, and the caution does fly for Kyle Jones in the 7U. Oh, and Jake Newman's got a tire going down. Caution on the speedway. The caution didn't come out for Kyle Jones. Jake Newman had a tire going down in the 3M. He's Cade Lewis in 4th, Persley and Kofoid. Changing tires earlier in the race, coming back up through the field, taking advantage of cautions. Green, white, checkered to settle it. Back to green. Kofoid and Persley both to the inside of McIntosh. Persley hangs with him. Dason Persley gets the lead off of turn 2. Persley to the lead. Caution. Jade Avedizian around in 1 and 2. Persley's gonna have to pass him again. Green, white, checkered at Monarch. The Lone Star Drawdown has been crazy tonight. We're back underway. What's going to happen? McIntosh drives away down the front stretch on the restart. Persley and Kofoid both go to the bottom. Persley couldn't pull even with McIntosh through 1 and 2. Coming to the white flag this time. McIntosh runs the bottom, goes down to protect the line from Persley. 1 to go. This is midget racing at its finest. Kofoid slides up to the inside. Persley to the inside of McIntosh. Side by side, and another yellow. Brenham Crouch. Boy, this is going to be fun. This is what midget racing is all about. This is what you're going to see in 2021 on MAF TV Plus. With the Lucas Oil PowerEye National Midget League. Green and white and Monarch. Let's finish it. Oh, Persley gets together with McIntosh. Kofoid slips by for second. Persley doesn't go away. Down the back stretch. Here comes Kofoid. Kofoid to the inside of McIntosh. Slides him at 3 and 4. Buddy Kofoid goes back to back. Wins night 2 of the Lone Star Drawdown.
Ty Graves in that 38P after the late entry earlier tonight. They're stacked and packed and ready to go. The yellow light is off. We are green off turn number 4. Tyler Webb will lead down into turn number 1. He's got Jonathan Powers on the outside. Powers trying to go around and get the win, or get the lead, excuse me. They're going to go side by side on the 3 and 4. Webb has the advantage, but Powers may have inched him on the line. It was too close to call. Powers has the advantage down the backstretch now as Webb will settle into that second spot. Thomas Walp looking to the outside in his number 51W. He's got the number 17A down on the inside. That is your battle for third. Jonathan Powers, your race leader. Tyler Webb settling into that second spot. One car around in turn number 2. That is the number 26 of Richard Walp. Schedule 20. Track 8 up some tires there in the Midget A feature. We're going to see what they do to these sport mods tonight. Jonathan Powers steps on the loud pedal. We're green. Powers going to run down to the bottom in turn 1 and 2. He's got Tyler Webb right behind him. Thomas Walp going up to the high side, trying to make a move on Webb. We're going to go side by side, door to door through 3 and 4 for second. Thomas Walp with a head of steam on the high side. He'll take the lead down the front stretch. Walp finding something up there on the top side. You might see a couple more cars take that leap up top. Powers going to get moved around from Tyler Webb. Webb going to go to the high side for second. He's got it off turn number 3. Forrest Wempkin moving up into that 4th spot. He's going to look down to the bottom of Powers. Now Tyler Webb goes to the bottom. He takes the lead down the backstretch. Thomas Walp slips out of the lead. He goes into that second spot. Jonathan Powers there trying to capitalize and make a move back for that second position. Josh Canoyer moving up through the field. He started in that 7th spot. He's up to 5th. Trying to make a move on Forrest Wempkin. That is your battle for 4th. Wempkin holding the bottom side pretty good. Richard Walp now falling, or Thomas Walp, excuse me, falling into the clutches of the number 29 of Powers. Powers going to go down to the bottom. He's got Josh Canoyer in tow. Canoyer trying to make it a 3-car battle for that second spot as 2 cars stack up, collecting a 3rd. Tyler Webb continues to lead up front. He'll step on the loud pedal. We're green. Webb will lead down into turn number 1. It's going to be Walp and Powers battling it out for that second spot. Powers has the advantage off turn number 2. He's got Trevor Foley in tow. They're finding something up through the middle towards the top. Canoyer getting passed by Foley, and Canoyer going to have to go up to the high shelf as well. Tyler Webb seemingly the only one that's making the bottom work right now. As now here comes Trevor Foley. He's going to go down to the bottom and try to get around the number 29J of Jonathan Powers. Powers trying to hold on. Foley going back down to the bottom, going to try to go side by side. He cannot get there as Powers holds on to the second position. Webb out to a sizable advantage in that number 56W. About a half a straightaway as Powers exit 2. Canoyer making his move up into that third spot. He gets around Trevor Foley as we are halfway home this time. Tyler Webb trying to reverse some bad luck here at Monarch Motor Speedway. He's off to a straightaway advantage. Then we've got 3 cars that you can throw a blanket over for that second spot. Jonathan Powers, Josh Canoyer, and Trevor Foley. Braden Wyatt up into the top 5. Whoa, Canoyer going around. Canoyer goes around in turn number 2, and it just keeps on rolling. Yellow will come out now. So, the field is stacked and packed and ready to go once again. Tyler Webb steps on it. We're green. Trevor Foley staying right on the back bumper. He's going to try to make a move now. He's got second, maybe more. Foley staying with the number 56W of Webb. As Webb continues to lead down the front stretch, he's got that car running down to the bottom. Foley going to run up top. Powers trying to get back around him, but cannot hold on. Here comes the number 65 of Braden Wyatt. He's going to try to make a move on the number 29. Meanwhile, up front, we're going to try to go side by side for the race lead. Foley got 2 wheels up underneath the 56. He's going to try to get all 4 under him next time by as Braden Wyatt makes his move into the third spot. Powers slipping up. He's got Canoyer right there behind him trying to make a move. Canoyer trying to break back into the top 4 after bringing out your caution. Powers running it down for that 4th spot, trying to keep Canoyer off of him. Tyler Webb continues to lead the way as here comes the number 4F. Foley trying to be the first repeat winner here in the Sport Mod division for 2021. Tyler Webb trying to play spoiler to those plans for Foley. Foley going to get 2 wheels underneath him once again. The 2 friends going at it up front. Foley moving down to the bottom. Tyler Webb trying to hold on to it. 2 laps to go. Next time by for your race leaders. Braden Wyatt now trying to throw his name into the mix. Trevor Foley going to power it down to the bottom. He's got the number 56 right in front of him. White flag is out. It is time to win it or wear it up front. Tyler Webb going to skate down the backstretch. The number 4F going to try one last time down into turn number 3. He's not going to get there. Tyler Webb picks up the A feature win. Trevor Foley will finish second. Then it will be Braden Wyatt, Josh Canoyer in 4th. Jonathan Powers going to come home in the 5th. Palestine, Texas, of Trey Stevens. Rounding out this one in the number 519 from Roscoe, Texas, that'll be Gary Fullwood. Green flag in the air, we are underway. Bobby Miller going to lead down the backstretch. Trey Stevens going down to the bottom. He's going to try to make a move on the number 02. The winner of this one will receive 2 free tires from courtesy of Jamie Hatcher. The other 2 will receive 1 free tire. Trey Stevens going to go up to the high side and challenge for the race lead. We're going to go side by side, door to door off turn number 4. Bobby Miller down to the inside. Trey Stevens on the outside. They're going to go side by side, number to number through 3 and 4. Trey Stevens pulling it up to the race lead. Stevens to the race lead. Bobby Miller going to go back down to the bottom and try to make a move. Miller sitting in that second spot in the number 02, the number 27 of Stevens. Making moves. Trying to hold on to the race lead. Now Miller will go up to the top shelf and try to make it a side-by-side race once again. Here comes Bobby Miller right around the top side once again. Trey Stevens on the inside. Your race is for the lead at the line. Bobby Miller goes to the race lead. Trey Stevens not going away, down to the inside. Trey Stevens will now settle back up into that second spot. Go to the high shelf with Bobby Miller. Miller going to hold on to the race lead down the front stretch, but Trey Stevens lurking there in that second spot. Gary Fullwood continues to run in third. Bobby Miller now about 1.5 car lengths out front in the number 02. Trey Stevens sitting in that second spot. Trey trying to run him down. White flag is out. One more trip around the speedway for Bobby Miller. Miller holding strong on the outside. Trey Stevens going back down to the bottom. This is it for the factory stock. Stevens spins it out. Checkered flag in the air. Bobby Miller wins the factory stocks A feature. Michael Reyes sets the pace. We're green down the front stretch. Cooper T. Fatiller will go up to the high side trying to make a move on the number 14M, but Michael Reyes will lead out of turn number 2. Cooper T. Fatiller going to go back down to the bottom. Michael Reyes holding strong. Cooper T. Fatiller coming down on the number 14M. They keep everything good, but they keep bumping and banging. Now 14M almost goes around. Tifa Tiller moves the 14M out of the way, and we'll see the black flag. A warning from the black flag, excuse me. So now, through the advantage of that, Jacob Alford going to move into the race lead as the 12A took advantage of the mess going on up front. Here comes Michael Reyes up on Cooper T. Fatiller. T. Fatiller sitting in that second spot. Reyes going to go up high. Cooper T. Fatiller running up on the number 12A. T. Fatiller trying to hold on. Now he's in the wall. As here comes Jacob Alford back to the race lead. Michael Reyes going to work on the number 4T. That is your battle for second as Jacob Alford takes the race lead. Driver of the number 12A up front. Here comes the number 14M back down to the bottom. He is going to try to get around the number 4T of T. Fatiller. T. Fatiller going up high. We're about to have a battle for the race lead if he can hold on to it. That car getting way sideways. Michael Reyes trying to take advantage, make some small contact there. And we're going to keep on going. Next time by, whoa, contact, Cooper Tiefetiller and Jacob Alford. And that will be the second strike for the number 4 tee. He will see the black flag. 2 laps to go that time by. Cooper Tiefetiller going to slow it down through 1 and 2. Jacob Alford going to get around him. White flag is out for Michael Reyes. Reyes down the backstretch. Jacob Alford in second. All alone through 3 and 4. Michael Reyes is going to win from Shamrock, Texas. Jacob Alford will finish in the second spot. Then it'll be Cooper Tiefetiller rounding out this one.